Hello and welcome back. We're to another project. Pretty exciting. I think it's exciting. I like doing this kind of work and helping you to learn this kind of stuff. It's cool stuff. The project that we're working on next is we want to patch our ESXi server. Now, the thing that we're doing here with installing the SSL certificate and patching right away, as I mentioned, it's because if there's an opportunity for something to go wrong with your server to where you have to reinstall, it's likely to be in one of these two places. If we have trouble with the certificate, don't get it quite right, your server may not reboot. There is some troubleshooting that we can do at the server. I'm here at where where your servers physically are, and so there is some troubleshooting I can do to try to correct that without having to reinstall. But if we have to reinstall, now's the time, right? We haven't really done any major configuration to it, so let's get these out of the way, and if we have to reinstall, we haven't lost much. So that's why we're doing these two first. We're going to be referencing an article again, and it's a loose reference, but it's a reference, and there are different ways to patch, other ways to patch, but I like this way, and I think that it's good in how it approaches it. We're going to upload the patch, go get the patch, upload the patch, SSH in. Well, here, let's look at our steps. There's the reference to the article I just showed you. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to remote into our server or SSH into our server and check what the current version or build is. And that's the command to do that. Okay, after we've done that, then we're going to go to the patch portal, which is here, and you'll have to have created your account to get here. So if you haven't done that yet, now would be the time. Go ahead and create your account, go to this URL, it'll prompt you for login, and then go and follow these steps, right? I'll do this with you. I just outlining it here with my notes. And what we're going to do is we're going to compare the build number that we verified the server has versus what's the latest. When we do a search here, it'll tell us what the latest build number is. Okay, good chance that there'll be well, in our case there is, I know there is. I purposefully installed an older build so that you could go through the process of updating it. So you will find the latest patch and we will download it, and it'll be a zip file. Okay, so you download it to your local computer. All right. Now that we've got that file, and now we're going to actually reference the article some more. The article has us go into our data store 1. Now this is new information. When you install ESXi, it creates the first data store automatically, and it calls it data store 1. It's a default name. So it's there. You didn't have to do anything. All we had to do was install ESXi, and we've got data store 1. So we're going to go to data store 1. I'll show you how to do this. And we're going to create a subdirectory called patch-directory. And that just matches the article. I think it's a good practice. I think it's clean the way that the author of the article has approached doing patches. You create this directory. So then the full path after the directory is created would look like this: data store 1 as the parent, or actually the root, and then patch directory. And then in the patch directory, we will upload the patch, the zip file package that we downloaded from up here. So we'll put it up into there. Okay, now that it's there, we put our server back into maintenance mode and we enable SSH. Okay, we've done that before. And then we SSH into the server. So we do that. I'm going to use PuTTY this time because I need a command line, where with WinSecure Copy, it was a graphical tool, great for moving files. I'm going to use PuTTY because PuTTY gives me a remote shell. It gives me a command line. So then from PuTTY, or whatever tool you're using, we're going to execute this long command. Okay. You can copy and paste that. You can also tab it. You know how you can like autocomplete, how you start typing in a path and you hit tab and it'll autocomplete. Once you get to here, you can tab and then type a D and tab and type a P and tab and get here. Now the file name is always different, and so this is just generic, whatever your file name is. What I do is I look at the first letter of it and I type in the first letter and then I hit tab. and it'll finish it out for me. So we do that, we hit enter on that command. It's a long command. We hit enter on it and we wait. It takes probably 30 seconds. And if everything goes well, you just get a screen full of characters showing all that the patch has done. And then from that same SSH session, we type in this command. It literally is a command, reboot. The server will reboot. And we've said before, it takes about a minute for it to reboot. So we give it that minute, and we then go and connect to it through our web browser, or we can go in. Actually, we should. What we should do is connect to our web browser, re-enable SSH if it wasn't enabled, SSH in and do the same command again. Do this command and check and see that our patch has been correctly applied by looking at the build number. Okay, so that's where we're headed with this. All right. So I think what I'll do is I'll also stop this video and call it a part 1, and we'll go into a part 2 where we actually do these steps together. All right, I'll see you in part 2.